Hi there, this is the latest edition of our Meet and Greet Bible Talk videos. This is produced by Seek the Truth Bible Media, as we want to bring people to understand something of the great message of the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm thinking about a man called Daniel in the Bible, and he was taken when he was a young man into exile. I suppose you might say he was a refugee, but he wouldn't really have come into that category, for he was one of the very high-ranking individuals in the nation of Judah. He was either a prince or aristocracy, and he had been taken by Nebuchadnezzar, that great potentate, whenever he came and ransacked that little state of Judah and Benjamin and took them into captivity. And when he did that, he gave instructions to bring to the land of the Chaldeans, or we would call it Iraq these days, to build the very best. He wanted to educate them in their ways, and he wanted to bring them to be really very useful in his government. And so Daniel did. Daniel and his three friends, Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego, they were each of them selected as part of a group who were being re-educated and being taught the philosophy, the worldview, educated in the ways and the culture and the thinking of the Chaldeans, but they wanted to draw on their intelligence. One day the king has a dream, and the king can't work out what the dream means, and he's very cute, very clever. He calls on all his advisors and he says to them, I'm not going to tell you the dream, because if I do, then you'll just make up some type of story as to what it means. You can tell me the dream and I'll know if you really are in touch with the gods. He doesn't believe in the God of Israel, but he does believe there are gods out there. And so they struggle, and there's a death threat. There's basically a sentence of death put over their heads if they don't come up with the answer. Daniel then sends off to Arioch, who's the man in charge, who he's got to know, and he says to him, give me some time. So he went to see the king himself, or the emperor, and he asked for time, and he was given it. Nebuchadnezzar gave him some time, which is pretty good, because Nebuchadnezzar is a pretty tough character. He goes and he meets up with his friends, and they pray, and they ask God to give him the answer. And, well, he found out the answer, as in he was told exactly what the king dreamed. Excuse me. And then he was told what the explanation to that dream was. But I just want to read you the verse that really struck me. He says to this great, powerful dictator, this potentate, in Daniel 2 verse 38, but there is a God in heaven that reveals secrets. Daniel brought this man face to face. He confronted him with the fact there is a God in heaven. That might be a shock to you. Meet and greet, meet God. There is a God in heaven. There is a God in heaven who knows everything. He knows the reason why the problems of life come across our path. He knows what is going on in the world. He organises, but he allows men to make their choices. He knows the consequences of choices. He knows the beginning from the end. He knows man rebelled against him, brought sin into the world and death as a result. He knows that man cannot get himself out of that situation by his own self-effort, good living or philosophy. God knows that only Jesus Christ, death on the cross, the holy, pure, righteous Son of God, his death taking full accountability for sin, was the only way that sin could be dealt with, that the provision of forgiveness and salvation could be obtained. And so I've come for this very brief video to say to you, there is a God in heaven who reveals secrets. And you can know all about yourself. You can know about God. You can come to know the forgiveness of sins. You can come to know peace with God through faith in Jesus Christ. If you repent of your sin, turn to God and put your faith in Jesus Christ, who died for you and rose from the dead. May God bless you today. Thanks for watching this.